This time on Whatever We Want, we talk about
Ant-Man!
Ants.
Yep. Ants.
Ants.
We talk about the crazy promos that Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd did. We also talk about Edgar Wright, how he was originally signed on to this project, what happened there, and why Peyton Reed ultimately ended up directing. All that and more. Spoilers ahead for Ant-Man, this 6-year-old film. Also, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy.
Ants.
We haven't looked at Marvel since October.
I know, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it feels kind of good. It feels strange. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange? Dang, you beat me to it.
I used the time stone to... I heard you say the joke, and I was like, I want to make that joke. And then I reversed time so I could say it before you, but you didn't realize because you were out of the loop. The time loop.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Ant-Man.
So Peyton Reed, he directed this. He also directed the Spider episode of Mandalorian Season 2 and the Season 2 finale, which I really liked. But yeah, this was actually supposed to be originally Edgar Wright, who did Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which we also talked about.
That's right. I forgot what, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much...
It's crazy to think about.
You know about that, but it was... So Ant-Man was actually originally supposed to be like phase 1. They were talking really early, like apparently Edgar Wright... Ant-Man was like a passion project of his that he really wanted to do. And Marvel kept saying like, oh, we can do this. But then just like with scheduling conflicts and stuff, it never came about until like when we got it. And by the time that Edgar Wright was finally ready to do it, Marvel had already kind of formed their mold. And Edgar Wright's vision was not in their mold, kind of very different, which I think it still would have been a good film. There's like talks that it was a really great script and everything, but they just couldn't collaborate. Like Marvel wanted to tie in more with the extended MCU, and Edgar Wright wanted... And his vision was for it to be kind of like a solo film kind of thing.
Like its own thing, which it still kind of was in some ways.
Definitely.
Like it still brought like S.H.I.E.L.D. and Stark and all that kind of stuff, but like...
And Falcon.
So yeah, I guess it really wasn't on its own. But
yeah,
there's still like pools here and there, but it was still kind of like its own thing, I guess, like overall plot-wise.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, a lot of Edgar Wright's like influence can still be seen in the film, apparently. Edgar Wright originally wanted to be like a heist movie, and Paul Rudd was brought on when Edgar Wright was still on. Like, Edgar Wright actually pushed for Paul Rudd to be Ant-Man when they were casting. They were down...
To be Scott Lang?
Yeah, they were down to Paul Rudd and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who played Robin in The Dark Knight Rises. Huh. He's also in Inception. And Marvel really wanted Gordon-Levitt because he was younger, and Edgar Wright really wanted Paul Rudd, and ultimately got Paul Rudd, and then they split ways, like Marvel and Edgar Wright. Yeah, and then also Paul Rudd, he wanted to keep the bones very much the heist and what Edgar Wright had made. So he's actually a writer credited on this and wrote a lot of the scenes, I learned in the director's commentary, which is kind of cool.
Huh. Yeah, that's really cool.
He actually wrote like the entire, with another person helping, he wrote the Falcon fight with Ant-Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Actually.
I actually like had no idea before this.
He's like, hey, I want to fight Falcon, so here's how we're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So right at the beginning here, at S.H.I.E.L.D. HQ in the 80s, we've got little older Peggy, we've got Howard, we've got Michael Douglas, we've got the Hydra guy.
What I really love here is how he punches him in the face, and then...
Yeah, we get some exposition that his wife's gone.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, why would you bring that? I like the look that Howard makes. He's like, oh, you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, what's his name, the actor?
I have no idea.
For this.
I don't know which Howard this is.
Well, they brought him back, is my point. Yeah, there's two different Howards.
Speaking of actors, Corey Stoll is also in this. He plays the villain, Cross or whatever.
Yeah, another Baldy McBaddy.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I called him Baldy McTiny because he shrinks.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, so that's continuing the trope, the bald Marvel trope, which I was very happy about.
We have to do a count. What's the count at?
It's too many. It's like crazy how many there are. I feel like every movie we're like, oh, there's another one. Even if it's just like a minor villain, there's like always one. Like, come on. Yeah.
That one henchman. Oh, Baldy McHenchman.
Yeah. He's a pretty, I think, alright villain. He kills that one guy, Frank, who is like, oh, so it's just a suit? Frank is shot.
He's not shot. He's freaking shrunk.
They use practical strawberry jam on the floor when he wipes it up.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they actually shrunk him.
No.
What?
Yeah, they actually have that gun in a vault somewhere because it's too powerful. The most powerful prop ever made.
Oh, jeez, dude. That would be terrible.
Yeah, and apparently there's a deleted scene where Baldy McTiny, like, tastes Frank before flushing him.
Wait, really?
Yeah, but they were like, that's too far, so they
why would he... That'd be hilarious, but also like disturbing.
I know.
Ugh, why would you lick it? It's just weird.
Yeah, so eventually we get to Scott stealing the suit. But yeah, so Hank is revealed to be watching and monitoring him from like a bat cave. What would you call that for Ant-Man? Like the ant hill.
That's actually, yes, the anthill. That's pretty good.
Ant hill.
That's pretty good.
Oh my, that's kind of lame, but I don't know.
Nah, dude, that's cool. What else would you call it?
The anthill. I don't know. Anyways, the anthill that is there is an exact copy of a Jack Kirby drawing, and it was 3D printed, apparently.
Really?
I don't know why that was important to mention, but they talked about it a while.
Well, talking about 3D printers, I saw that there's a Form 3 3D printer down there.
Yes.
So
'cause every scientist needs to have one, was Peyton Reed's explanation in the director's commentary for why he had that.
every scientist needs a 3D printer.
Yeah, you're not a real scientist. You don't have one.
I mean, I guess it does make sense to like how he makes a lot of the stuff without like going to like actual manufacturing places.
Yeah, like the special like stuff for ants, like a saddle probably. you can't just buy that on eBay.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yes, I need one ant saddle.
You need more than one. I need like 50 million ant saddles.
Oh yes, one tiny micro camera to place on my ant.
So we cut back to McTiny, Baldy McTiny, who kills a baby sheep, a lamb.
Yeah, a little lamb.
Apparently on this day, Peyton Reed said that the caterer served lamb chops the day they were filming with the lamb.
Oh,
and he was like, I'm hoping it was a coincidence, but it was like a cruel joke, it felt like.
Oh, that's so messed up. And then like after seeing like the actual cut where like they just disintegrate the lamb, they're like, oh no.
All right. What do you think of the Ant-Man suit? Because that's the next scene is when he puts it on in his bathroom.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it, again, like with how Marvel does it, it takes a lot from the comics, but also makes a like realistic twist to it.
Yeah.
I personally like the newer ones better.
Yeah, I agree. I have this whole sequence when he's like dancing around. I'm not really dancing around, but
Yeah, he's just trying to survive.
yeah. When he lands on the truck, the guy in the truck, that's Garrett Morris, who was technically the very first Ant-Man in live action because he played him on an SNL skit.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I saw that somewhere in it was like a while ago when like I think you might show me the behind the scenes like forever ago. It's either you or somebody else. And I remember seeing the SNL skit and he's like, oh, it's like it looks like the actual comic accurate suit.
Yeah.
And it's just so like weird, but it was pretty
Yeah. But I like that sequence. This film doesn't really have a big second act. It's just kind of training and getting ready for the third act, which I think is why people sometimes think that Ant-Man isn't as exciting. Besides like the Falcon fight, that's like the only kind of action thing in there. There's just like a lot of training. I do like the smaller scale though. Personally, it's just a great way to get back into Marvel after taking a break. But also just like it's a good break in the middle after Ultron, before Civil War. Like those are two big movies.
Yeah, I can understand that, but at the same time, like I feel like superhero movies, even though they are like they need to be like big fights and all the like doesn't always have to be that.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Like what you're saying with like the bigger movies, right? Like where you have like all the team ups and like everything's going crazy. Yeah, that's epic. But if everything was like that, it would get dull. You know?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen. Have you seen Wonder Woman yet?
I have not.
Wonder Woman 84. It's kind of disappointing because there's.
You say that. I've heard a lot of good things about it though.
No, dude, there's a lot of plot holes and everything. But ultimately, there's points to where they try to do fights in that movie, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't want to spoil it, but like they try to do fights. And then it's just they're trying too hard.
I can't believe you spoiled that for me, Daniel. There are fights in a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then other times there should be fights and there aren't. It's just weird.
Oh well.
That's just my opinion. But
we're not here talking about Wonder Woman, Daniel. No offense, but
my point is that this movie is paced very well
for what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like we said, it's a heist movie. It's not like a big fight 'em up. It's not like some kind of action thriller. It's a heist movie, and it stays true to that.
I think considering that Edgar Wright literally like bailed 2 weeks before they were supposed to start filming, it was either 2 weeks or 2 months, whatever. It was still very quick.
That's still a short time, yeah.
Yeah, and that Peyton Reed was able to like create this, and the writers were able to salvage. I feel like it's pretty good for what it is. But yeah. So then we head into the third act where they infiltrate the sewer system, the water line. And they come out the bathroom. Hank is almost arrested, so what's his face steals the car.
Just imagine seeing that.
I know, dude. That
like a bunch of ants coming out like the sink.
Health inspectors coming in.
That'd be horrendous.
That and the kitchen from Ratatouille. Ugh, would not want to be there.
Yeah, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's good food.
What?
Actually, nah, I don't think so.
I would not want a rat cooking my food.
Well, think about it.
A cartoon rat, that is different, though.
Yeah, that's different. If it's a real rat, no, dude, definitely not. But if it was like
Remy.
in the world of Ratatouille, that's fine.
Rat patootie. Yeah.
Anywho, big, or not big, Baldy McTiny. Everyone said
Biggie
big.
McTiny.
Biggie McTiny here.
He's just normal sized.
He's a very small giant.
He's proportional. Speaking of Ant-Man villains, I like in Ant-Man 2 also how they have a villain that's not just the like hero, but with a different colored suit. I like I said before, I've said this a million times, I give it a pass on the first film, but the second film I really think the villain was creative, like the ghost lady.
Yes, she was. Who wasn't there another villain?
Morbius.
What?
Morpheus.
That's right, Morpheus. I thought you said Morbius. I'm like,
I did.
Vampire? No.
I'm gonna cut that out. I'm just gonna say Morpheus.
Like, there's no vampires in Ant-Man. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh, now I can't get this out because it's a joke.
Freaking ghosts and vampires all in one movie.
And werewolves.
You just see like
And Marvel Zombies coming in soon too. Mm-hmm.
Oh god, what's his name? The guy from Twilight.
Oh, Batman.
No, the other one.
Jacob, whatever. I don't know.
Because he's the werewolf, so you gotta bring him in then.
I've never seen Twilight. I know you have.
Shark Boy. Liz made me watch it.
All right, we're not here to talk about Twilight. I'm going hard back to the tank right now. This video was actually edited together from highlights from our podcast, our latest podcast on Ant-Man, so if you enjoyed it, please check out the full podcast. The links are in the description. It's found anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Really appreciate it. Hope your 2021, like we said, is off to a good start. Yeah. I mean, it's off to a great start if you listen to us, am I right? But I'm just kidding. No. But thanks, honestly, for starting it with us. Yeah, see you later. Goodbye.
Peace.